What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Chinese qualifiers for the Manila Masters. We have ourselves Game 2 between IG and LFY. Game 1 went to IG. If they win this one, they are moving onwards in the upper bracket, and LFY will drop to losers. Again, there is a losers bracket, so not the end of the qualification road for either of these two teams, depending on, of course, who loses. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this game, and, well, Game 1 was boring, right? Like, we got to a certain point and then nothing happened. So let's hope that this one is a little bit more fast-paced. Let's hope that we have some timing plays, some Terrorblade to go in, some TA, some Shadow Fiend, heroes that will be okay going into those towers a little bit earlier, because I want some action, god damn it. This is a hero that usually leads to action. The Crystal Maiden. No, just kidding. The Slardar, of course. Somehow getting through the pool. Bans looking rather normal, except for that Legion Commander. Seems like these two teams do have a lot of respect for that hero. And it is a powerful hero, but I'm not sure if I like it first ban. Like, it is by her nature, she is a snowball hero. And by that I mean not a hero, not necessarily a hero who can snowball. I mean a hero who needs to snowball. You really need to get her off to a good start if you're going to find any sort of success with her. Going into the mid-late game with a underfarmed, underdamaged Legion Commander is really awkward. And there are heroes that are similar to that. Like, we're looking at Lifestealer, looking at kind of a Terrorblade pick. Like, you can maybe go for a late game Terrorblade or an Ursa. You can maybe angle them towards late game. They're not really the best, though. They can snowball out of control, however. If they don't snowball out of control, you're still not in a terrible position. But Legion, you need to snowball out of control, and that's the big difference there. It's a really high risk, high reward type hero. So as a first ban, not really sure if I like that. Regardless, Slaughter is in the pool. Lifestealer is not, but we'll see how much damage LFY want to go for in the physical department. With Lina as the matchup, Shadow Fiend mid, looking a little bit less attractive than TA mid, but still looking really good. You combine up all that physical damage, you can get kills on heroes like Centaur War Runner in no time. But Lina and Centaur, the opening for IG. A lot of burst damage on these heroes. I mean, Lina especially. Looking for an Ogre for her to partner up with, a Vengeful Spirit type hero, or Rubik. All would be good to ensure those combos land. And of course, Centaur. This is Centaur, right? Kind of difficult to deal with. There is a chance that LFY pick up an Ogre first, and then try to have him mess with the Centaur jungle, who you can assume is going to be going towards that jungle Centaur. Crystal Maiden, may or may not be needed to pressure the Centaur in lane. If LFY, if LFY just go for like a Juggernaut or something, like a Juggernaut Rubik type safe lane, or any sort of similar safe lane at all, as long as it has some kill power, Centaur most likely is not going to want to stick that one out. And I don't really know if there's a way to make this Centaur a dual lane. You can do Centaur Undying. That is a possibility, but really specific situations need to be in place for you to actually find success with that. So yeah, maybe as like a 4th or 5th pick Undying. More likely than not, Centaur's going to go AFK into the jungle, and CM will be more than happy to do something very similar. In that regard, I like CM up against Centaur War Runner as a kind of a counter pick. Like, oh, you pick Centaur? I'm going to pick Crystal Maiden. And since I know you're probably going to jungle, I can jungle too, and I won't fall behind as a support. Really nice benefits there. Now, LFY, they do want to stack up physical damage. Weaver, as a core or a support, would have been... Whoa! We have a Phoenix on the board. So... Phoenix... I don't know where he fits in. It fits in? She fits in? I don't know. What's the Phoenix's gender? Does anyone know? Maybe it says in the description. Yeah, I'm not really sure where Phoenix is supposed to fit in here. Looks like it's an it. Now, Phoenix is going to be played as a support hero? Am I seeing this correct? I mean, 9 times out of 10 we have Slaughter off. And I don't think this is a game where you need to necessarily change that. Phoenix does have the advantage of, I guess, a good amount of damage with... That's not Sunray. Okay, Sunray's right here. You do have this kind of damage source for the Centaur, but do you really need to do that? I don't think that's really necessary. Okay, it gets a lot better now they have a Dragonite and a Slardar. I was saying, like, if you're going to go for a TA, if you're going to go for a Shadow Fiend, really stack up the physical damage, do you really need a Phoenix on top of that? Like, the sustain he offers is just not really enough to justify picking up the hero. So, this, now with the Dragonite pickup, makes him a lot better. It makes Sunray an actual viable healing tool, and it gives you a hero that's actually worth healing, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, you can heal a Crystal Maiden or a Slardar, and that's kind of nice, but healing a DK means that you can stick him in front of a tower, have him absorb tower shots, and deal damage back without losing a significant amount of HP. There is some significant benefit to the Phoenix, and with this setup right now, I'm a little bit more on board with what they have. That being said, I do feel like they're kind of missing out a little bit of potential on the Slardar. Physical damage from DK is not all that high, so as far as physical burst is concerned, it's not really in the cards. DK is just naturally a good hero versus Juggernaut, so there's that. But IG are going to go ahead and switch things up a little bit. We have ourselves a Tinker pick. So Lina, I assume LGD thought that it was, or LFY rather, they thought the Lina was going to go towards mid, and I mean, they're probably right most of the time.
10 seconds remaining.
And the Tinker pick is going to switch things up a little bit.
5 seconds remaining.
The Tinker is going to have, perhaps not, I mean, they have Tinker and Lina about equally good times versus the Dragonite, but Tinker has more benefit off of a good lane than the Lina does. You get faster travels, you start locking down the map a little bit more, things get a little bit more out of control a little bit faster. So I like that switch up, and with the Phoenix and Crystal Maiden already seen, you know that there's no chance, or very little chance, let's say, for LFY to throw you a curveball and, like, say, park a Ricky in your lane, or park an Earth Spirit or a Pudge or something like that in your lane and make Tinker's life really difficult then. Phoenix and Crystal Maiden do not gank. That's just not, especially a Tinker, you just can't do that. You try, you'll probably die. So this Tinker is going to be in a very good spot in this game. LFY, is there any way they can finagle these lanes and to get some way to hunt down a Tinker? And coming from the safe lane, there aren't that many heroes that do it. Like, PA is alright if you're looking at more physical damage. A Core Venge is actually not the worst here. Get that wave for the vision, get the swap, and more minus armor. You have a DK already, so you're looking at like a kind of early timing phase. Now, it will be really difficult to push into a Tinker with March, so I'm not really sure if that's what they want to be doing. Sniper's not bad. They could Morphling, I suppose. Nah, there's a lot of damage to deal with the Morphling. Lasers, Lina combos. I still want to see like an Ogre type hero for IG. Anyone with the play stun, really. Almost doesn't matter who it is. Ooh, or a Bounty Hunter. That's an interesting one. Bounty Hunter Tinker is quite greedy. If you get ahead, you're not falling behind ever. But getting ahead in the first place is the hard part. Yeah, Lina as a play stunner is a lot to be desired. With the slight slow from Janata and the Orb of Venom the Bounty Hunter's going to have, you may just be able to land those LSAs regardless. But IG are going full greed mode in this game. Kind of a weak solo support, a roaming Bounty Hunter. Centaur most likely is going to go towards the jungle at this point, and a Tinker as well. They are really fortunate that LFY have shown their two support cards. I think they're going to be the two supports in the Phoenix and the Crystal Maiden. These are not heroes that can really punish that. If there was an Ogre, if there was a Venge, if there was like a Bane or something like that for LFY, then yeah, you could bet that IG will be punished for their lack of for their greediness. They just need a Tinker Hunter right now. A Tinker Hunter from the safe lane. They could definitely switch lanes up a little bit. Can they fit a Storm Spirit into their draft? IG don't have much. Oh, it's a Spectre. Okay. That's a hero that's been kind of under the radar, but is also really good hunting down Tinkers. Because you just press the haunt button, and then you found the Tinker. Seems pretty good. Now, the issue with that is that as good as the Spectre is versus the Tinker, the LFY draft kind of pulls in a couple different directions. Right, like the DK usually wants to get in kind of early. The Slardar as well just wants a Blink Dagger and wants to play that timing tempo game. And Spectre will be able to help them, right? Like, she does have the Haunt by that stage, and it will be kind of nice to get those kills, accelerate your items. But Spectre really wants to play towards the late game, and by that time, unless you're super far ahead,
5 seconds remaining.
the DK most likely will be starting to, in an average game, let's say, DK will be kind of struggling at that point. He just doesn't farm well enough. Slardar as well. You need to be getting a lot of kills all the time if you're going to really lean on a Spectre late game. A Spectre mid game is pretty good, but that of course assumes that you'll be able to get on top of the Tinker and kill him off with just the Spectre, which I'm not sure is going to happen because you just laser the Spectre and then you're just safe. Or you stampede away and the Spectre can't really catch up to you. Need to stay silent in respect for the most amazing thing to come to Dota ever, that load screen. Also, this Bounty Hunter's hat is quite sick. But, yeah, so I'm not really sure if I like LFY's draft. They can maybe get a mid-game advantage and snowball that in, but that is kind of impossible here since they don't have any pressure to put on the Tinker. Or the pressure they do apply to the Tinker will be very difficult to do so. Again, if they had, I think, Phoenix out, Earth Spirit in, then I would like it so much more. Then they could actually shut down the Tinker. Slow down the Tinker and you slow down the overall game plan of IG. You decrease their defenses. Means that your DK can get a lot more done. But they don't really have that impact from their supports that they really need. So I think in this game, despite the greed, I am favoring IG to win it.
30 seconds
We'll see.
to battle.
Let's take a look at who's going to be playing what. Burning is going to be playing, surprise, surprise, that Juggernaut. We got Q on the support. Lina, OP, is on the Tinker. Baboka is on the Bounty Hunter. We got Centaur Warrunner in the hands of XSS. Once again, on the other end, we got Monet playing the carry Spectre. LPC is on the Firebird. White is on the Crystal Maiden. We got Super handling the Dragonite, and Jixing is on the Slardar. Super, by the way, one of the most Dragonite-y players. I don't know, like he has something in his hands that makes him really good at Dragonite. Maybe they call it what's the word? Practice. But he is one of the best Dragonites around, for sure. Not like you could be really amazing at this hero, like his skill cap is kind of low, but still, he is very comfortable with this hero. And he kind of needs to be, especially in this laning phase where he's going to be at the mercy of OP and his Tinker with the laser beams. Because you can't last hit if you can't hit things. Some wisdom for you guys. Here comes the Bounty Hunter. Crush is going to land. LSA balanced there as well. Jixing is not going to get body blocked at all. Burning, still thinking about going for it. The spin is there. Second LSA. Focus taking the tower shots, and Jixing trying to race for the kill. Will get the gold after he dies, though, so Burning gets first blood, gets the experience. Bounty Hunter as well gets the experience, which is the big deal. And it's going to be IG 1-1, but not giving up too much to that Slardar. So pretty good start, and a really aggressive play, but still, I believe the term is #worth. Spectre's going to have a great time up against this lane. Centaur, we can already see, is going to get return. Knows that there's a very low chance that he actually closes the distance between himself and those supports, so you might as well not try. Just accept the fact that you're going to take shots, get that poor min shield going, maybe some extra regen, and then just get return. Again, they can't really force the Centaur out of lane. They may be able to go for some really bursty kills if CM is able to grab like level 3 in the jungle, but again, that's not really an easy thing to do. The thing that you can do that's really fast. It's an easy thing to do, but it takes a long time. So the Centaur most likely is going to get a free lane of experience with no questions asked. OP and Super still going at it. Dragonite with extra mana is actually quite nice from the CM. He's going to have his bottle anyway, but bottle with always breathe fire spam. That's really some good stuff. Oh, Perfect World, please! Been so good up until this point. Perfect World's actually been getting a lot better. Super is going to get jumped by a bounty. I guess we can... maybe not. Sentry's cleared. Even an Observer Ward cleared. No. He's going to give it to OP? Sure. What a generous guy, that bounty hunter. That's actually a good amount of gold for a Tinker. Bottle boots travels, right? Some Tinkers get Soul Ring before they go for that travels. I'm not sure if this is one of those games. Probably not. But Jixing been poked at by Q the entire time. Baboka's going to arrive. Jixing has no idea. And he's going to take 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots from the bounty hunter and an LSA. He'll force out the salve most likely. And they're just buying a lot of space for burning on this top lane. And Monet is farming freely on the spot lane as Spectre. I wonder what build she's going to go for. It's going to be like the El Clasico Radiance. She's going to go for a little more of a fighty build. There's definitely a possibility of that. And with this phase build up, you never know. We can already see the impact these two supports have had on this game. Big fat 0. I'm not really sure if that's going to change anytime soon. Can they... maybe if Tinker somehow gets hit with the Dragon Tail? Never mind, there's no Dragon Tail. So yeah, you can't really do much here. You're not going to close the distance on any hero as CM without boots or a really good angle. And she has neither right now. That's bottle up on OP. Boots should be there as well, and they are. Courier. 1 shot. 2 shots. Get sniped. 360 no-scope from Baboka. At least Super has his bottle, right? That could be a lot worse for LFY. But this bottle's not going to be crowed back. Yeah, and he still has a sentry sticking here, so he should be okay to survive this. Does a lot of damage, that's for sure. If a laser landed, it would have been close. Not quite a kill, but still. That is going to give the Tinker even more of an edge. And we can see that Super is sticking to this Tinker pretty closely in the CS department. Contribute a good portion of that to just his experience with the hero. By the way, this is happening. They're chasing after Burning up towards top lane. Spin has already been used offensively versus Jixing. And Burning will be able to get out of there. Because Sunray, as amazing as it is pretty crap when it's level 1. As a damaging tool. CS, kind of even. You have IG with a slight lead here. CM really not doing a hell of a lot with her farm just yet. We had like a 7-minute Tranquil on CM in the last game. It was like level 3 by 4 minutes. It is a little bit more behind in this game. It's like around the mid lane a little bit, or the bottom lane a little bit more. But should have just a free jungle path from here on out. There's really no point in her doing anything else right now. Just get that mana aura going. Spectre's fine. There's nothing the Centaur can do to really contest the Spectre. Look how much defensive kind of little tiny items the Centaur has gotten. Poor man's shield, of course, for starting. He's got the Iron Talon for armor. He's got the Ring of Protection for even more armor. I'm not really sure if the Spectre can actually kill that Centaur ever. Lita, though, is going to get caught. LSA will connect on the Dragon Knight, despite the fact that he has a haste rune. Jixing going to start the chase. We got the Solar Beam going onto Q. Another LSA, though, will drive them back. And Super wastes a lot of time. This is time that he could be spending elsewhere, just getting level 6. And a level 6 DK will get even more gold in the pockets of the Spectre. And that will lead to at least somewhat of a snowball effect. So yeah, they do need to get those towers. Now, Blink Dagger on the Slaughter are also a huge benefit to taking those towers early with the DK. Yeah, there's no pressure being applied to the Tinker. This is not a good situation for LFY to be in. And I don't think the matchup of Spectre versus Tinker is good enough for the Spectre that she can afford to let that the team in general can afford to let this sit.
Dire's top tower is under
Like maybe a Storm Spirit can get away with this type of game state versus a Tinker, because Storm is just so good versus Tinker. But Spectre's a little bit slower. You can haunt in and find the Tinker. If the Tinker has any sort of allies, he should be fine. If he has a bouncing laser, he should be fine. There's a pretty high chance he'll have one or both of those. Burning. Has mana for an Omni Slash if he wants to eat his fruit. It is good for him. Just a little bit short on mana there. Jixing knows it. He's taking this opportunity to get a lot of CS, and maybe we'll punish soon. Boca is thinking about coming in. The burning is doing burning things. Omni Slash there with the spin, just enough mana. Stampede to close the distance one more time, which will also slow down that Slaughter. Haunt coming in. Where is she going? She's going towards the mid lane where OP's already stunned up and will get roasted. Monet and LPC there. Not really sure how they caught a Tinker with Stampede being used. Like, how does that happen? Not entirely sure, but you know what? It happened, so what's done is done. Kill on a Slaughter in exchange for a kill on the Tinker. Not good at all for IG, and Baboka now in a lot of trouble. He's dusted. There's a Dragon Tail. Stun stacked. Doesn't matter. They'll still get the kill. LFY finding a couple picks here and there, including a pick on a hero that really shouldn't be dying in this current game state. Maybe there's a rune involved? Regen rune? No. Just got caught off guard by the level 6 DK, I suppose. XXS. He is pretty happily farming for his Blink Dagger. Monet did get his hands on that last kill. And will also chop down his sentry. Poor Baboka, man. Level 4 is not bad for a bounty at this stage. Not much action to be had around the map, though, for him. Was involved in a good portion of the action that there was in this game, though. So there is that. And we're in for a period of farming. Really, there's not much that LFY can do to push the issue. And IG, there's no reason for them to push the issue, much like in the last game. Just looking for those travels on OP. Not going to be the fastest set of travels in the world. But still will have them up at a decent time. He did go for that Soul Ring before travels, so not a straight rush. That will slow him down by quite a bit. Dire scanned. They see nothing there. So then most likely, Super is alone. If LSA lands, he is just dead. Looks like they don't even need that. They will throw the LSA at the end, but he's already dead. So yeah, a charred corpse. Super did not see that one coming. Big kill for them to take. Mostly for this bounty hunter. Level 5 now. Get him a tome or something like that. A couple of minutes in lane by himself, and he's level 6. And they're going to do just that. OP gonna leave him alone. Stick to the jungle. Level 3 March can clear the jungle pretty quickly. Boca can just hang around this area. Get that track up. In the meantime, DK with that range stun at the ready. Got White here as well. Not the most offensive build on Spectre. But it's a 3v3. They probably didn't expect Burning to be here. Like, why would Burning be here? He was having a free time towards top lane. He was pushing the tower there. Now the Haunt's going to come in from the back. It's the DK. Stuns up XS, and Q is going to drop as well. Easy double for Monet. Somehow gets both last hits. The Burning will survive this. He's got FaZe and Yasha, so he's quick. But LFY come in with everybody. And quickly stomp out IG in this bottom lane. With a lot of Dragon form as well. They actually gave the lane to OP, who gave his lane to Baboka. So there's that. That's why he's here. Now it is a nice set of kills there. One support, one offlaner. Burning is still with his Omni Slash. They are going to push this issue. Blink Dagger not rushed by XSS. He's going to go for a Hood first. Quite an expensive kind of detour item. They know that there's also an observer ward here because they didn't kill it earlier. Oh my god, perfect world, please. Oh, they found someone on bottom. Burning's gonna catch LPC, straight TP out from the Phoenix. And now we got track up on the bounty. This is where things get interesting for IG. They will have the travels very shortly. Just straight jungling on the tanker gets you quite a bit of cash. So they have the travels, so they have the ability to reinforce for kills. And they have the ability to get paid off extra for those kills. The only question is, how aggressive do they want to be in looking for said kills? Because there's no Blink Dagger on the Centaur, which is really the item they would love to have at this stage. You know, get the Centaur to start a kill, travel in, track up, whatever. They're going to try to go for the Spectre. I don't know if they're doing a lot of damage. There's a Laguna Blade. And that's it. God damn it, Perfect World. Why you gotta be like this? I love how it just, like, slows down to a crawl whenever anything happens. And then, oh, they stun the Phoenix with the hoof stomp. Get wrecked, son. It's like, I'm just gonna do a flyby and harass them. Oh, wait, there's a Centaur right there. So LPC just straight suicides. Read like a children's book. Yeah, I'm pretty sure as soon as he casted that, he's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have casted that. So they get a tower, which they're probably going to get anyway, and an extra Phoenix kill for free. So, pretty good. So far, I think we have no track kills. I don't think that was a Phoenix track kill. Probably wasn't. We died really quickly, that's for sure. Slaughter has his Blink Dagger now. Yeah, this is like not a perfect timing set of timings for IG. The travels are up pretty quickly with the Soul Ring. The track is up at a decent rate. Again, not the fastest on either of those, but still adequate. But they lack that way to start the fights. And I have to still wait for the Centaur. Still a little bit away from that Blink. But hey, once they do have all those pieces together, LFY have got to watch out. But until they do have those pieces together, LFY have the lead in their ability to start and end fights. Q is going to be the one to most likely blow the smoke. Sees two, retreats. Lucky Lena. That's the person they want to have to blow the smoke so that she's the one to die. But hey, if she doesn't die, feels pretty good, man. Blink Dagger on Slaughter at least might be hidden. I'm not actually sure if it's still hidden. I gotta assume at least if IG don't directly know about this, they can infer it from this game state. Like, Slaughter should have a Blink Dagger at this time. Like, your Centaur almost has a Blink Dagger after Hood. The chances of Slaughter not having a Blink Dagger are astronomically low. Just a farm game till we get this Blink Dagger on Centaur. They still have Haunt. They still have Blink Crush for LFY. They can make some pretty big plays happen right now if they really wanted to. The only problem is, like, to what end, right? You can go in and look for kills. You'll probably have to smoke up every single time you do that, and that takes a toll on your bank account. Spends a lot of time wandering the map. You may not get a kill after. And even if you do get a kill, unless you get it on Tinker, like, the odds of you getting a tower afterwards, which is really what LFY want, really, really low, because Tinker will just start setting up with his March and the missile spam. Like, they have the ability to start the fights, but the payoff just isn't there. Like, conversely, on the IG side, they have the payoff in the track. They really just lack the ability to start those fights. What a mismatch of a game. And now they have the ability to start the fights. Blink Dagger on both Tinker and Centaur. Perfect Ehan timing. Smoke all the way from base. This is going to be a problem for LFY. I mean, they should also expect a Blink Dagger on Centaur. Tinker's not quite in the area right now. Boca is going to be jumped on and very quickly dealt with here. Jumping from XSS, though, is going to stun up 2 heroes. Chainsaw from Q is going to end up roasting the bird. Bernie's going to rush in with the Stampede. Super's locked down. Missiles are coming in with the spin as well. DK does have his armament, so he's rather tanky. Burning, though, is ready and waiting with that Omni Slash. He will use it to dodge G-Shing's Crush and get the full-on Omni Slash off with his backup coming in. They'll kill off the Slardar. Dragon Slave will almost connect to Super, but they still have their eyes on White at least. I think should be going down. No, just a couple of Urn Charges. Looks like they don't want to go any further. Bounty Hunter did go down in that. I think they got at least 1 track kill. There was only 1 hero dying, so yeah. And then 2 heroes dying. I think Phoenix went down as well. Little bit of gold here for IG, but suffering no casualties makes it, or no significant casualties. Bounty Hunter died. Who cares? Makes it pretty manageable for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Slight gold, slight experience lead for them. Taking down the Slaughter, though, showing up pretty big with that Blink Dagger. Again, it's not really going to be an amazing fight for them, but that is the type of fight they really want. Just small scale endings, right? With maybe large scale fights. XSS jump in for LPC. They're looking for the bird. Laser missiles, not quite enough. Ooh, just 2 seconds off of that shiny Laguna Blade.
Radiant's
Would have easily gotten that kill. Tower down. And IG are going to start this kind of tempo-y map control strat. Pretty standard Tinker stuff, honestly. Just, you know, get involved in a fight and hopefully not die to a Slardar. Push out the waves, keep your own tower safe, slowly grind out the map. If they can take fights before they take the towers, great. If not, I'm pretty sure the towers are going to take some damage anyway. And now here's the awkward stage for LFY. Spectre's gone for full fightiness at this point. Manta Style on the way, Phase Urn. Pretty standard fight Spectre build. DK with the armlet, he's also ready to go. But how do you go into this March? I'm not really sure, honestly. They need a pipe, they need BKBs. Yeah. They are very far away from either of those 2 items. So IG have the run of the map right now. Again, it's just Tinker things. Already Blink Dagger up. It's impossible to initiate on him with the Slardar. At least from that angle. March of the Machines, man. Pretty good. Going for the Ags. Should have that one pretty quickly, actually. Yeah, Ags on Tinker. Bouncing Laser. Wrecks the DK. Wrecks the Spectre Haunt Illusions. And, of course, the Spectre as well. Really nice item here. One of the Spectres gonna fully commit to this build. Manta Style into just straight stats. Manta Style Diffusal Blade. You guys remember reading guides in Dota in like 2005 where Spectre would always go Diffusal Blade? Remember that? Am I the only one who remembers that? Maybe. It's a sick item on Spectre. It really is good. His Radiance kind of took over. In this game, like, I'm pretty sure most Spectres would rather go Radiance, but they just, they have to get the fightiness ready for the Spectre. So he's gonna go for the fighty build. You gotta do what you gotta do. Super's gonna cut down this top tier 1. That's kind of nice for LFY. Not like they're looking for any huge item timings, but just more gold. Monet's actually going to go for Radiance afterwards. Helps your farming speed. You do quite a bit of damage with that Haunt. Lena's going to be suffering that. Other than that, though, I mean, it's not going to be the most amazing Radiance game. Like, even the mischance. Tinker doesn't care about that, obviously. Centaur, the other core, really doesn't. Juggernaut does. But, you know, he could spin, he could BKB if he really wants to get rid of that effect. MKB even if he wants to, which probably is a good pickup regardless. Push in, poke a tower, back off. LFY should be looking to do that right now, actually. The late game of Spectre is pretty substantial. The late game of Tinker is no joke either. And Juggernaut, who of course is leading the net worth. Because, you know, that's what burning does. They don't really have a great way of just brute forcing down towers. Juggernaut's pretty good at damaging towers, but gotta worry about being initiated upon. The way to alleviate those worries, of course, in this area right here. Get this Aegis, have Juggernaut just park his ass on the tower, and then kind of go to town. But, of course, going for a Roshan play right now is difficult. You're up against a Phoenix, you're up against a Blink Slardar, and, of course, you're up against Haunt, so good luck making that work out. But Boca's going to get hit with the amplified damage. Everyone and their mom is coming around for him. He's going to get one track out before he dies, but he will, in fact, die. Really? They're going to go for Roche right now. Well, I mean, he has a fresh BKB delivery, so Super is really strong right now. But this is also IG with full knowledge of this happening. So, yeah, here comes the missile spam. Here comes the Centaur. Stun onto 2. Where's your BKB? DK, no! Oh, man, he dies before activating the BKB. Monet also taking an absolute beating in the Roche Pit. Will survive. Walk out of there with the Haunt active. But that's going to be a clean kill on the DK because they didn't expect Centaur to go in. Now, I'm no expert, guys, but when I see an enemy team with a Centaur and I'm in the Roche Pit, I expect the Centaur to jump in. I've been burned one too many times to not expect that. Oh, sorry, I'm missing kills because I'm watching Roshan. Oh, Monet grabs it, actually, but at what cost? He's going to man style and just walk out. Okay, at no cost. He sure showed me. Blink in from Jixing, going to try to go for the Tinker. I'm not sure about that one. He will fall back after having bought back. But the bait down here with a couple of supports, Slaughter and CM getting caught off guard, but it was all an effort to guarantee Monet getting this Aegis, and on top of that also straight killed Roshan. Roshan dead to the Radiant. Blink Crush onto the Bounty Hunter. This time BKB will be used. It's only a Bounty Hunter though. So the end result for LFY is actually really good. Outside the deaths they suffered, which kind of sucks, but they get the gold, they get the double life in the Spectre. They keep it out of the hands of Burning. That is a pretty huge play for the Spectre. What finesse. Walk in with Dagger, grab the Aegis, walk out. Wow, such amazing. Such wow. Now, IG still have the net worth lead, though. This really is just going to hurt them insofar as they can't further tempo out the game until the Spectre loses her Aegis. If they were able to take her down just once there, that would have been huge. It would have set them at, set them at 0 and would have let them continue on with this exact gameplay style, except with the ability to take down towers. But now they're going to be really afraid to do so. So they are going to play a lot slower from here on out, and that's not really something you want to do. Don't really want to give the Spectre more time to farm any more than you have to. If you can't avoid it, of course. Going in right now is risky as hell, but it's possible, I guess. We're going to see Tinker bounce around everywhere. Slardar desperately trying to find him. Monet, same thing. I wonder if there's any consideration for Monet to get like a Basher or something like that. It's not really a Spectre item necessarily, but it will mean that if you just haunt at any given time, you will most likely be able to kill off a Tinker, because otherwise he just travels away. If you have some way of disrupting that TP out, a haunt for a Tinker kill every single time seems like a really nice way to handle it. It's expensive, and again, it's not really a Spectre item. Ooh, that was close. OP's gonna blink out, seek refuge with his friends. LFY are right around the corner. Monet will throw out a dagger in a pretty vulnerable spot. Track, Manta style. No big. and get right back to the map control game. I believe the farm is actually closing in. No, it's not. It just is for the cores. All credit to DK. He is doing a remarkable job at keeping pretty much neck and neck with the Juggernaut's farm rate. And Tinker, of course. Like, he's not that far behind for a DK. Usually he's more so where the Centaur is, DK's. They've only taken down one tower, which for Dragon Knight is rather unimpressive. But he's able to get his farm regardless. And that is a big deal. Like, late game Spectre is definitely a thing. If you're able to get a farmed late game Dragon Knight, you are also a terror. Get that dragon form so the enemies can't escape from you. You have a million armor, you have a million DPS because you're building damage items. It can definitely get dangerous. But of course, that never really happens. The Juggernaut's still leading him by 3k. Looks like LFY want to leverage this Aegis. Go right to that Roche, tier 1 tower rather. Tinker not quite set up in time, and the tower will fall. Even if the Tinker was set up in time, DK could just BKB blink in. Not guaranteed safety anymore for this Tinker. Speaking of, jump in, haunt there as well. This Lina is in a bad spot. Stampede will get her some significant distance with the mechanism. They can't even kill her. That's an Aghanim's Stampede as well. Unfortunately, they now lack the Stampede to chase, so not really sure if they can find anyone. Though we'll find White jump in. Tinker is going to go a little bit too far with the Omni Slash there. They'll focus down the Dragon Knight, kill him off, and now Money's going to try to go for OP. With Mana Style there, she will guarantee that kill. Phoenix is going to do something and die. I don't know what the hell Phoenix was thinking. Not a good idea, let me tell you that. Jixing going to jump in from the side. LSA will lock him down, and that will be another track kill in favor of IG. They do lose their Tinker, and that is a significant cost. But what they gain is substantial. Look at that money ride. 5 tracks? I got to assume that everyone who died there was tracked up, or at least most of them were. Man, they just eviscerated that DK. I did not expect DK to die that quickly. Blink in, double edge is a lot of damage. His BKB wasn't holding then. There was an Omni Slash on him as well, and you know, again, I'm no expert, but Omni Slash is, I think, is a pretty good spell. IG are gonna get away with a really nice win. That was also kind of a careless play from the Tinker. Like, up this hill, he blinked up and threw a laser. And he was more like over here, but you really don't want to blink up hills if you can help it. And he got significantly punished by that. Just Spectre just walking into him. Tore him to shreds. I think perhaps the greatest takeaway from that fight, though, was the initiation from LFY. Or the lack thereof. Like, they jump in, Dragon Tail a support Lina, Haunt, and Supernova her. There are so few situations where she actually gets out of that. But one happened. You just turn on Stampede. She runs away. She has amazing damage reduction at that point. You can't really do anything as LFY because you use your pretty much only stun. Now, you don't really want to waste both stuns. 28. Gotta remember 28, guys. If you waste both stuns on Alina, then you have nothing else for the Juggernaut or the Tinker. But their ability to save the Lina there makes it so that LFY will think twice about initiating on anyone but the Centaur. And if you go on the Centaur, well, I got bad news for you. He's got a hood. He's going to go for a heart. Not really sure if you want to waste your time doing that. It will be really hard for LFY to fight on their own terms as long as Centaur's Stampede is available. Now, perhaps they're able to burn it by, you know, baiting it out, something like that. Making an initiation onto one hero and then just falling back after the Stampede is used. There are definitely ways of playing around it. Don't invest everything up front. Kind of wait on the Haunt. Use a Blink Dragon Tail but not Haunt. Stuff like that. But this is a big reason why Centaur is a pick right now. Get that Aghanim Scepter. I mean, Omni Knight, eat your heart out. You don't need complete immunity. You just need a lot of damage reduction, right? Sometimes it's good enough. Phoenix using all his spells to clear the wave, and then Super just blinks in and kills it. What a dick. Give the bird some farm, man. He's on your team. He needs the money. I mean, he probably shouldn't because he needs to keep up in farm as well, but what was a 3k deficit, Super versus Burning, is now a 5k deficit. Juggernaut even going for a Maelstrom. Expecting a couple of illusions to be up against him, for one thing. But also that when you turn into a Mjolnir, you get the static charge. It actually does quite a bit of damage. It's definitely something you could very easily underestimate the amount of damage that a static charge does. Especially if it's someone like a Tinker who's definitely going to be focused. And if you're LFY, you don't stop focusing the Tinker because it's like, oh shit, he's a static charge, time to focus someone else. No, you just go for the Tinker no matter what. So a really great kind of damage utility item there for Burning to have. Plus, helps him farm, helps him push waves, you know, all that good stuff. Spectre in the meantime, she went Diffusal, Manta Diffusal, now Radiance. It's a little bit late for this Radiance, but hey, it's almost done, so you have that at least. It seems like that gold that she spent on the Radiance, this like 5k gold, is nowhere near in its efficiency to anything that the Juggernaut has, and that is a problem. Like at this point, when you're, let's be generous and say LFY are in an even game state, you need every single purchase to count. And that's part of the reason why they lost the last game, was because they just loaded up on Shadow Blades. You get diminishing returns after every single one, after like 4 of them. Your returns are so diminished that you're not getting any returns. Just not spending their gold effectively. Oh, jump in for a Bounty Hunter. Stampede to save him, not quite. They will jump in, crush the Lina as well, but in the back lines, it's the Phoenix who's going to chop down White as well. Will Glimmer herself out to survive for a little while longer. Super going to pick a fight with XSS, but now here comes OP. They're going to haunt in immediately onto that Tinker. Laser bounces, going to keep him kind of safe, but still taking a lot of damage. Off on the side, we have a freezing field onto XSS. Spin on Burning, going to do what he can for the Spectre, really quickly reconsiders, and will leave his Centaur friend for dead. Ji-Shin going to wander in, looking for more. Did Lina actually survive that? It looks like she did somehow. Not sure how, but a crucial Glimmer Cape there from the Crystal Maiden. And a really restrained play from LFY. Like, yeah, they jump in on the Bounty Hunter. They do not invest everything on the Bounty Hunter, they wait. They wait and wait until they see the Tinker, then they go in for the Tinker. Monet, oh, that's a lot of damage, man. That was like a crit and a lightning strike, and that's it. And then Tinker, as soon as he wanders in, usually the coast is clear. He threw out a couple of laser bounces there. It didn't seem like it did jack. He still got destroyed by that Spectre and the Slardar.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's no haunt now, so IG, they can mess with them for 20 seconds, wait for everyone to be back up. They'll have another Stampede. Tinker obviously doesn't need any timings. So they are still kind of ready for this. They will not have an Omni Slash for another 20, but the enemy side has another 40 to wait for a Haunt. Without Haunt, I'm not really sure if LFY really have a chance at winning a fight. This is actually good enough for IG to go straight into the Roche Pit with. OP's nowhere nearby, so probably not, I want to say. And he's burning a lot of mana in the jungle. Distance really doesn't matter to a Tinker, just mana stores does. And Burning is getting very farmed. The Spectre's not too far behind, though. Surviving that last fight puts her at a 3k deficit to Burning. You can see this now 6k deficit between the Jug and the DK. He's actually able to survive a good portion of that last engagement. So, yeah, good and Super. Needs to survive that to get the money. Gotta get the money. Gotta get paid. Heart on the Centaur. Are we gonna see Return Aura? With the heart? That's actually pretty redonkulous. Damaging... based on the percentage of Centaur strength. Okay, yeah. I was wondering if that actually dealt damage based on the The user's strength. Oh, Super is going to jump right in. Dodges the stun with the BKB. Not bad. But really needs something else. Someone else to help him out. Burning Excess are really clustered up. Burning's going to jump out of there. Omni Slash now back into the Slaughter. With the laser solidifying the kill, they will try to go in for the Phoenix Sun. And they should have enough attack speed to get it. And they will. Also picking up the CM in the background. Super now going to get chased out. Will probably survive. Oh no, OP snipes him with the laser. Getting no-scoped. That's a level 1 Dagon, but I guess the armlet toggle was just off. And they're gonna go in for the tower at least. Spectre just lost all of her buddies. No Roche, no problem. This is at a point for IG just a buyback test. See if the enemies have a buyback, and, well, their read is that they don't. Slaughter does, but what can he do right now? They need a DK with buyback, but unfortunately for him, he just doesn't have it. And now we have Le Balanced Pushing Man. Half man, half horse, all siege catapult, because these towers took like good 200 damage by shooting XSS. Return Aura, where are you at? Now onto the melee racks. Spectre has some backup now, haunting in for Burning. Force Staff out is going to get him quite a bit of space, but the Crush is going to get right on top of him, and Burning's in a lot of trouble. He needs some more help. He needs some lasers. There it is. Burning is getting so much distance away with that Stampede, and now he should be fine. OP is just letting loose with everything in the book. White is going to try to do the freezing field thing. That's not going to be good enough. Gets sniped by the Tinker, and now it's just Jixing. Gets a really lucky bash. A couple of Burning Illusions going to come in. Tinker, though, still in a lot of trouble. Needs to find some way to blink out of this. Crush misses. He does blink out, and Burning didn't return to slay the fish. Oh man, Slardar wishes he had any other item. Any item at all would have helped him there, but not quite enough. And IG get away with murder. Mid lane, devoid of racks. Bottom lane, tier 3 down, which means, of course, the shrines are now vulnerable. And Roshan still in their back pocket. They'll swoop in, grab that one as well. Spectre dead on the floor. With buyback, but no haunt, so kind of useless there. IG just took a decisive lead in this game. Like, it was 20k, right? It was a good lead, but it didn't seem like it was a decisive lead. Now we are at full decisive mode. Super forced to panic BKB up against the burst damage of this Tinker. Level 4 Dagon out of nowhere. It was just level 1, and now it's level 5. Because, you know, that's how Tinker rolls. Yeah, this is really, really rough here. They can just park XSS right here again and start pushing towers that way. Or just slay White with no effort whatsoever. Jesus, OP, stop! Oh my god, he's just getting kills before the animations can even finish. Ripperino in the pepperonis. Those two supports didn't stand a snowball's chance in hell. Oh my god, that was disgusting. I just want to see Return Aura. Like, is that too much to ask? Seems like IG are like, no, we can't get that. We're just going to go ahead and win now. This OP is showing up huge. Oh. Is there a Dragon Tail? I don't know. There it is. Okay. Cool Cat up. Jixing going to land a stomp onto one. It's burning. It's a kind of nice target, but oh, Tinker's going to teleport in. Not really sure if he wants to do that. His TP target is going to be killed off. Thinking about it again. Tower's still going to fall here. Burning. Has the Aegis, so he is okay with being on the front lines like this. Force Staff not going to help him. Push him further back in. Supernova going to go off. Not stun anyone, though. In the meantime, OP jumps in, slays the Slaughter, but gets rooted to the floor by the Frostbite. Will go down. Straight buyback as Burning's going to make his arrival. Laguna Blade will slay the Dragon Knight. Lina has conquered the dragon, and another laser missile combo to get another kill, and another, and another. Oh my god, OP, please show mercy. Literally fountain farming the enemy with his Tinker. Ugh, I'm gonna be sick. That was disgusting. Now, you guys remember what I said about Tinker? You guys remember that? They didn't really have any great answers to him outside that Spectre. No ability to apply pressure to the Tinker early on, so they kind of dug their own grave. I love this dance that he's doing. I've never seen that before. That's sweet. That's cool. But yeah, IG, their Tinker, showed up huge. He was not really in a lot of trouble throughout those past engagements. He was just going ham, man. All he needed was that Dagon. And of course, that's not to say that everyone else in IG played poorly. A really solid Lina performance from IG. Of course, Burning was farmed as hell, so you know, that doesn't hurt. But IG are going to 2-0 LFY, keeping themselves up in the winner's bracket. And the loser's bracket awaits LFY's arrival. Guys, this is going to be the end of the day. For some reason, people are saying this game is pre-recorded because the title's wrong. The title's not wrong. It's L5 versus IG. That's what I see. That's what you see. And yeah, that's going to be it for the day. I'm not really sure who won on the other stream. Let's see if I can find out. But IG is going to be playing either Wings or VGJ. Again, not really sure who won. I can't really find out right now, so I'm not even going to try. But guys, thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the broadcast, be sure to follow along for the rest of the Manila Masters Chinese qualifiers. We've got C qualifiers, I think right after China qualifiers. I'm not entirely sure when that is going to happen. If you enjoyed the casting, be sure to hit me up on Twitter at Mike Loris. It is in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Sick graphic, by the way. Shout out to that guy who did the graphics. And yeah, it's in the stream title. It's pretty much everywhere. I'll see you guys next time. GG.